or sharing screen. Um, so welcome. I know some people are still joining, but we don't want those that are already here to listen to us in the silence. So we will start with some information, housekeeping information, to try to explain a little bit of how this is going to go and also how you can use translation tools. So maybe we can move to the next slide. So first of all, before we start, if you feel like me, more comfortable in another language that it's not English, you are able to activate captions and translations. So you may have to press the three dots. You may see it like it's on the screen that Eleonora is showing, or you may actually see three dots saying more in the language that you have Zoom. And when you press there, you will be able to see something that says translation or subtitles or something like that. You press there and you can choose your caption language. That means that you always have speaking language English, and then you put as caption language the language that you feel more comfortable reading. Just so you know, translations are not always 100% accurate. So if it reads a little bit weird, it may be that it's translating a little bit weird. But it may feel a little bit more comfortable to all of us. And if by any chance you feel more comfortable typing than speaking, for those that have not been part of this, please feel free to speak or to write. We love people to be able to participate and tell us their experience. So do it in whatever way you feel more comfortable. So after the housekeeping part, welcome to the fourth of our community of practice meetings. That doesn't mean that you have been able to the four of them, but it doesn't matter because we will recap. We will do a little bit of a reminder of what have happened from the beginning until now. So the first thing that we will do is, as I said, give a little bit of a welcome, who we are, who FT3 and GPON are, and what have we done until now. Then we will tell you one of the main things that we have been working since our last community of practice meetings, and we will have the luck to listen to some of the authors that have been part of a publication that we are still working on, so we cannot share with you a published manuscript yet. It's a submitted manuscript. We hope to have a little bit of participation afterward of any things that you can think of or that comes to you after listening to our panel. And then we will move, as in the last of the co-creation meetings, we will move into some smaller groups that will be to discuss future steps, what we want to do, and everything related to oncology and precision oncology. So we can go next. So before I start, let me introduce all of us. So you will see on our left side, you are gonna see the faces of people that you are gonna see afterward speaking about the publication, where I have the luck to have Gilani, Sylvia, Darcy, Fatima, Liliana, and Alex. The six of them from different countries have been working with us either in previous community of practice and or the publication. So most of them, if you have been in the three community of practice before, you have met them. We have had Gilani, Sylvia speaking about advocacy, Darcy, Fatima, Liliana on education. Alex has actually joined us on the publication as well. And then on the right side of your screens, myself and Kay, who recently also joined the call, are representing GPON, the Global Power of Oncology Nursing, where many of you come from. And also from FT3, there are the magic people that have managed us to do this community of practice meetings. We have Emily, Eleonora, and Diletta, who help us in almost anything, and all the beautiful images that you see here are created by them. So thank you very much to all of you for joining us. And we would like also to invite you to introduce a little bit yourself. So who is here? Tell us in the chat, put your name, where are you joining us from? Um, I, I'm Celia, I'm from Spain. I'm an oncology nurse. So if you want to introduce yourself on the chat saying who you are, um, I will give you a few seconds so you can start typing without us giving too much information while you're typing. And then we will go to explain a little bit of who we are. Thank you, Peace, for starting the conversation. Hi, Amanda. Hola, Caro. Hello, Mariam and Alex. Great. We will encourage you to continue introducing yourself. One of the things that we have done in the previous community of practice meetings, if you have joined before, it's we like to do a little bit of a Zoom poll. So we will ask you 3 questions, very quick to answer. Around first, if you have joined us before, because I keep speaking about the other community of practice. And then we will also ask you about how much do you feel that precision oncology is affecting, or the realities of this actual world is affecting your job. Sorry, I cannot see anymore. And then what is the most significant gap or element that you miss to help nurses lead in precision oncology? As a little reminder, to help us, challenges that we spoke about, we will be discussing them also, but we have focused on our second session, we did focus on education. On our third, we focus on advocacy, but we will show you a slide just in a few minutes on all of the different challenges and opportunities that you actually told us on our first interviews on our first community of practice. So the a lot of what you are seeing here is around that. So it's great to see that for some of you, this is your first session. Also, for some of you, you have joined first, second, or the 3 of them. So it's great to have a little bit of a mix of people that are new to this, also because that is good for us, because you will actually see us with fresh eyes. And for those of you that have seen us before, it's also really nice because that means that you have been in discussions and you will be able to continue the brainstorming. Our second question was around how much do you think this insight reflect the realities of your daily practice? And you said pretty a lot because it was between the 8th and the 9th and the 10th, sorry. And I cannot see the word. I only can see that some people have answered the word with the most significant cap, but I cannot see what you actually wrote. So that will be a surprise for me afterwards when we get the Zoom results. So if you want to put it on the chat also, the gaps, please do so. So let's give a little bit of a background of what FT3 is, what GPON is. I have the luck to have people from FT3 and GPON that can correct me if I miss something. But FT3, it's part of a biggest group that is called the Synergist, and it's a group that have been focusing on making precision oncology and precision medicine in general, not only in oncology, while their focus has been in oncology. For this part, they focus on making precision medicine more available and understandable for everybody. It did start not with a lot of healthcare professionals, but actually with a lot of patient representative, other stakeholders, pharma companies. So it's a truly interdisciplinary place where we actually do a lot of brainstorming. I'm very proud to be part of the board of FT3 and also a member of GPON. GPON, the Global Power of Oncology Nurses, it's a group of nurses that we started this group with the big aim or with the love of making oncology nursing available also for everybody, where we could have a place where we all felt comfortable speaking about it, learning together. And when we kind of we mix together thinking about nursing empowerment in precision oncology. So when we were doing the first meetings on FT3, that I always say they did not have nurses, I said that it was very difficult to make precision oncology understandable for patients without nurses on the ground. So they did listen. And one of the things that we did was try to understand and address the challenges not only nurses, but different healthcare professionals were facing in adopting precision oncology care. But when we focus on nurses, we asked people from GPON if they wanted to tell us their experience and their challenges around precision oncology, and we got another overwhelming answer of more than 40 people that wanted to be part of this. And that's how this synergy started. So we wanted to improve that interprofessional collaboration and communication between nurses and other healthcare professionals, but also with patients, empower nurses to make a more active role in decision making, and ensure that all of us have good access to training, the resources, and the support that we need to actually make precision oncology available for our patients. So that's how all of this started, but now we are in number 4, where we are hoping to focus less on these challenges and opportunities and more into actions. We can move to the next slide. And I'm going to give the floor to Eleonora from FT3 that may actually give you further background than me.
Thank you, Celia, and thank you for the introduction. So, hello, everyone. My name is Eleonora, and as Celia mentioned, I've had the honor to work on this journey with a few of the champions that you see on this call. So we thought it may be useful to show a bit how did we get to this 4th community of practice. We started the work back in 2024, where we tried as FT3 to understand how does the current patient pathway look like for precision medicine. And within this patient pathway, what is the role of the different healthcare professionals? What are their challenges and support needs? And what stood out for us in this mapping was that nurses were highlighted as pivotal, especially from patients, but they were often underlooked or not even mentioned in a few of the literature that we had reviewed. And so we worked with Celia and we decided to have a deep dive onto nurses. That started from a deep literature review on nurses-focused publications, and then we wanted to validate the insights from nurses themselves. So Celia proposed to partner with GPON and to identify key champions in the GPON network to validate what we had understood and enrich our research. The response was actually overwhelming. So we were expecting around 10 people to be interviewed, but in less than a day, we had more than 50. And so what we really understood was that perhaps there was a need to have a platform where nurses could really own the discussion and could share what were their needs and then own solutions. And so that's how with GPON, we decided to commit on making this happen. We decided to formally and continuously partner. And we set up what we call Nurses Community of Practice. That is a series of meetings that aim to bring all of you together and provide you with a platform that can be yours to shape, where you can share your stories, you can share success stories, but also challenges. And we can brainstorm all together what are solutions that could help you and actually align on how do we make it happen. The first session was delivered in 2024, so exactly, well, not a bit more than a year ago. My timeline in the brain got mixed up for a second. It was December 2024. In that session, we have talked to a few of your colleagues and some of you here, and we have asked what are the key topics that are relevant to you? What are the key challenges that, if unlocked, could actually unlock your journey and help you and set you up for success in what you're trying to achieve, and help patients have the best outcomes possible? From there, we came up with this opportunity map with 10 key areas of work. Though what we understood from you is that there are 2 key pivotal topics that can help you unlock everything. And that's on one hand, education, and on the other side, recognition and advocacy. And so our next sessions then focused on these topics. So we had one meeting that was a bit more focused on education. There we tried to, thanks also to amazing speakers, a few of them are also here in this call again. We've tried to understand how nurses have been unlocking education around the globe, how education has been helpful for the nursing community, what is already available out there that could be used, and what is missing out there that perhaps we can fill a gap into. Then we moved into co-creation, where we heard from a lot of different nurses, including some of you, what are potential solutions that are not there yet, but that perhaps we could develop together. The third session was then focused on advocacy. So, similarly to education, we first heard from a few success stories in the global network that helped us kickstart the conversation, and we tried to understand how can nurses be empowered to advocate both for themselves and for their patients. Also, in this session, a lot came out both in terms of existing good case practices and stories, and I'm sure some of them will be also mentioned in the panel, but also what is new initiatives that perhaps we could implement. As Celia mentioned, after this community of practices, we then moved into writing a publication. So we paused for a second and we decided to consolidate all the outcomes that we gathered from you so that we could then provide with a practical tool that summarizes what we have learned so far. Hopefully, something that is useful also for you to start positioning the role of nurses either in your institution or more broadly within your community. That publication will hopefully be out soon, as Celia mentioned. But in the meantime, we really wanted to get back to you and continue our engagements and reopen this platform for all of you. And so the idea of today is, as the title of the session says, to move from voice to action. So over the past 3 sessions, we have really brought together more than 400 nurses in total. And we have discussed what are shared needs of the global nursing community. What we would love to start doing now is to understand what is collective actions that we could take, that you could take as the global nursing community, and we are happy to facilitate and support to actually make a difference in your daily practice. And so, from what we have learned, from the challenges that you have, is there anything that we can develop together that will help you and will help your colleagues? That's what we're going to try to discuss today. And with this being said, I'm going to give it back to Celia.
So to start, instead of having each of the persons just giving you a presentation like we did before to show, we wanted to start discussing already, but making you participants of the discussion. So we invited some of the authors of the, as Eleonora say, we hope it will be published soon, but you never know. Okay. To kind of discuss a little bit of we have gone into a lot of depth into all the what you gave us on the free community of practice. I think one of the magic things that we have done is that we haven't done it by ourselves. It has not been a group of authors just making decision, but a group of authors trying to organize all the things that you already told us. So trying to give voice to all of you. So let me introduce you again to all of them. So when I go and ask you a question that is directly to one of you, I please ask you to stop for a second, say your name, where do you work, and where you're from, because the writing is very tiny. So even if I say, I think it's nice that all of you can introduce each other. But I'm gonna ask first something to all of you. Knowing what you know, because you have been working on the publication. The publication highlights the shift from identifying gaps that we have been working to actually try to take in that action. So we focus in already in things that we could do with these gaps, not just focus on the problems. Could each of you briefly introduce yourself and share 2 keywords, describe how you see the role of nurses in precision oncology today? And because all of you are from different places, actually, you may see very different things. So I will start with Sylvia, as was the first one that was on my screen.
Thank you, Celia. Hello again to all of you, and welcome to all the people who have enough time and, will to participate in this today workshop. My name is Silvia. I'm cancer nurse specialist from Croatia. I have more than 25 years of clinical experience, but currently I'm working only at the university at my hometown, Osijek, at the Faculty of Dental Medicine and Health at Department of Nursing and Palliative Medicine. So I am working there as a senior lecturer and a researcher. And I'm also member of EON's Education Working Group. Regarding this article, we hope will be published. Celia asked for two words, maybe I can put it this way, which will describe current, situation or place or whatever you want to call it of cancer nurses regarding genomics. So I think my first word will be definitely undervalued, and I think this word will be applicable probably in the most country. I would say in the world, not just in the Europe, but I will focus on the Europe because I'm from Europe. And maybe the second word, or to be more precise, maybe two words, maybe lack of integration. Lack of integration of genomic, because I think we have knowledge, some of us have more, some less, but I think we don't have enough practical experience. So maybe for the some kind of start that will be enough. I maybe get a chance to, to discuss a little bit more about this. What was I trying to say? Thank you for now.
Thank you, Sylvia. And lack of integration definitely is something that I also feel from my European perspective. I'm going to give the floor to Fatima. Fatima, please introduce yourself and maybe tell us your two words.
Hi, good day everyone. I'm Fatima Adam, an oncology nurse from Nigeria. I work with Federal Teaching Hospital Katsina in the northern part of Nigeria, and I'm the vice president of the Oncology Nursing Association of Nigeria. So for me, I believe nurses translate complex precision oncology concepts into patient-centered care, and they advocate to ensure the patients can access this innovation within their health system. Because as nurses, we are leaders and we are the voice of the community. The community, I mean, as oncology nurses, we don't only work alone, we work as MDT. And as part of the team, we are the key, let me say the key stakeholder, because we are the bridge between the patients and the hospital environment. So for me, in my experience, education and advocacy are deeply interconnected, because if you are educated as a nurse and you are not advocating, then that education will only serve you. As for some facilities, they will say, yeah, we train our nurses on the job. Yeah, it's good you train your nurses on the job, but such nurse is not useful to the society. They are only useful to the facility where they work. So I believe as nurses, we are educated and we should keep advocating so that our voice will reach beyond our facility or the community where we work. Yeah.
So Fatima, thank you so much for showing us or for trying to explain to us that how education and advocacy actually interconnect so much. Liliana, you have the floor.
It's so nice to meet you all. My name is Liliana Gutierrez. I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and I work in a comprehensive cancer center. And I know that the two words may be the same as others: lack of integration and lack of formation, specialized formation, especially for oncology nurses. And I think is that those are the key points that maybe we wanted to explore also with you, because we know it's not only a thing of a single region, it's something that I've been feeling in different regions as I talk with the team, with Celia, with Sylvia, So it's so nice to meet you, and those are like my key points for this moment.
Thank you, Liliana. Darcy, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your 2 words?
Hi, everyone. I'm Darcy Burbage. I'm excited to be with all of you today. Um, I'm an oncology clinical nurse specialist from the US. I practice in Delaware, and I also have a role as a consulting associate with the Duke University School of Nursing. And just to echo what my colleagues have said, I think oncology nurses are essential in precision medicine and precision oncology, regardless of our role. And we have multifaceted roles. And I think we are leaders in precision oncology and getting it to our patients as well as to others that can help us bring this to more individuals where we advocate. So we have a really essential and leadership role in precision medicine and oncology. So thank you.
I like the light with lack of integration but leadership. Fatima, Sylvia, Liliana, you kind of combine each other. Last but not least, Alex, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your 2 words?
Okay, thank you, Senior, and hello everyone. It's the second time I join you, and it's my great honor to talk about this section because I'm working also on clinical oncology unit, and I have been about more than 10 years work on the phase 1 clinical trials towards anti-tumor drugs. So every day we have new drugs from laboratory to our cancer center. So it's my precision medicine and precision nursing is the area I'm most interested in. So that's my work experience. Work with the new anti-tumor drugs and our clinical trials subjects every day. So in from my opinion, I think in China and because our cancer center is the top 3 cancer center with more than 3,000 beds for cancer patients. So we have nearly 2 million out outpatient outpatient last year. So it's huge amount of people. So I want to say it's from my experience, I think for clinical nurse, it's a kind of the feelings of frustrated about the huge amount of the knowledge. And I want to say 2 aspects. One is I think is the rapid advancement of the technology. It's about this year is the AR and also the LLM, the large language model. So this changes our work styles. And the other aspect I think is the overwhelmed feeling about the information, about the genetic testing and also the all kinds of the information from the AR from the all around the world. I think it's my experience. So
Very interesting
yeah.
point. I wonder, do you think that there is, in this mix of research and daily nursing practice, Alex, do you think that there is maybe one specific way where your center has empowered nurses to lead in this space?
It's actually we're not the leader to leave the care pathway for our patient. It's our we call it principal investigator. So it's the physician, the doctors lead their care pathway. So under their care pathway, we have the study nurse, we have the clinical nurse, we have the coordinator, we have the physician. That's the thing. That's how it works. So it's but I also think nurse is very important because we accompany our patient 22 hours. And why I think sometimes I'm frustrated because the AR, the AR answers the patient's questions, and we cannot interpret their genetic testing how to accurately towards the doctors. So it's about the knowledge, the information gap. But if we ask them, we can be join into their MTD. But sometimes because we are bonded, we are just bedside, so we don't have enough time to join them, and also we don't have enough evidence, enough information to join them. So it's my opinion.
So one of the words that Alex was saying was frustration, but I could also see the frustration because you want to do more for your patients. So I think it's beautiful to see that first we are a team, but we need to truly work as a team, including the patient as part of the team, so the patient truly understands.
Yes.
Liliana, when you presented with us, you spoke about how you successfully adapted an ONS initiative to your own specific context. That was an amazing example, very inspiring. I know we are trying to focus on positives, but I wonder what was one of your best and biggest challenges in adapting this best practice to your local to your local reality? And what advice would you give to nurses that are looking to grabbing these ONS amazing tools into their own countries?
Okay, so it's a very interesting question because one of the key challenges, especially for reviewing the biomarker testing but database, is the language. Most of the resources, especially for non-English speaking countries, are very difficult to find. Even though we know we have artificial intelligence tools today to translate, integrating this to the context of a country like Colombia, it's difficult because even though there are so many biomarkers available and NGS testing, the lack of access for the patients and for the nurses for the training of knowing what it means, the genetic counseling, it's still been a barrier. First, because the university or the professional education, the formal education, is not providing these tools since the first steps of the career. And when the nurses start to study the masters in oncology nursing, I know that the focus is the patient, but there is still a lack of integration of these concepts, especially when treating the patient and in nursing. And second, and because of this reason that education, physicians are the ones that are still handling this information. So of course, when I try to explain, for example, in my center, that nurses can do this counseling testing that can be part of precision oncology projects, there is also the barrier that this is not a concept that nurses handle. And taking out this vision of so many people, including nurses, has been very difficult. So the people ask me why to translate or why to adapt these tools because we are not involved in this. So this is the key point that is important for us to change here in Colombia, and is the fact that the nurse involved in these projects and in these teams. What we wanted to do, and after I participated in this biomarker database, of course, at the beginning it was very difficult because it's entering into the American context, the American way of presenting testing, writing. So I read a lot, and Darcy and the team was always by my side reviewing. But the idea and what we wanted, and some of the things that we will highlighted today, is the fact that there is a need of translation of these tools and making more accessible, especially for nurses in LATAM, I'm speaking about my region, but I know it's something that is needed worldwide. And by the idea is to make it visual, like the ONS biomarkers, the database, and accessible, because not so many people knows, for example, that these tools are free. So it's like the promoting in teams and in the centers the access of the information and the importance of getting this information. So it was very challenging, and it's still, because some people say like, okay, this is something that is not going to change here in Colombia, for example, that I'm in my country, but it's something that we need to change since the academy, from the academy and integrated into the centers. It's been challenging, but it was an amazing experience because it opens a new perspective and the opportunity to collaborate with people like this team that also help us to open our eyes and open our minds to have collaborative projects. And actually, after this, and participating in the GPON and the FT3 community allow me to participate in precision oncology projects. So I've been working here in projects with microbiome and precision oncology, and this is something that has completely changed the way I see nursing, and I see the integration of professionals in different areas.
That's amazing, Liliana. I could hear a little bit of the frustration, similar than Alex, the leadership, similar than what that Darcy said. I'm gonna move into our advocacy people. Sylvia, drawing from your work with EONS and the education toolkit, what are the structural requirements? You spoke about Europe, sometimes it's very different within Europe. We know that in EONS, but what do you think the requirements are to ensure that these educational resources, like the one that Liliana spoke about, are integrating into our nursing practice? And especially because you are doing research about it, it will be very interesting to know your opinion, if it's just existing documents or actually we can implement them into practice.
Well, one thing is for sure that we have educational materials, not just EON's education nursing, cancer nursing framework. But the problem is, like I said before, there is lots of discrepancy, between education and real, let's put it this way, real clinical work. What I'm trying to say. For example, in Croatia, and I know for sure that is a similar situation is at several countries, at least in countries surrounding Croatia, For example, in our universities, we have people, nurses primarily, without cancer background teaching cancer nursing. So I think this is the maybe
That is not a great start.
Yeah, maybe this is the problem number one. But in some universities, there are also physicians, teaching cancer nursing in general, especially cancer nursing, and they didn't have, any link to oncology or anything like that. So I think maybe we should start from here. But to be more precise, in my country, problem is we don't have enough, highly educated nurses who can, work as a lecturer or teachers or whatever you want to call it at the universities. Some other thing is maybe that maybe nurses, like I said before, we have knowledge and we have educational materials. But I think maybe it's a general problem with us nurses. I think we have some kind of lack of confidence, Uh, uh, to be honest, I don't know any of nurses who are, which is not is not good in her job. They're all good nurses, excellent nurses. They have lots of knowledge. For many years, maybe just one example from the near history, let's put it this way. There was a time when lots of nurses from Croatia and all surrounding countries go to the West, because better working conditions, salaries, and things like that was better in the Western countries. And nurses from these, countries, in a very, very short period, became, head nurses, I don't know, some, managers and things like that. And this is because they have lots of knowledge. Eastern European nurses have really, really, and I'm trust me, I'm really objective. They have really, lots of knowledge because our high school nursing education is very, very, very wide. So maybe it's much bigger problem at the higher level of education, undergraduate and graduate. I think these programs should be more focused on this genomic and genetics. I don't know, we will probably will talk about it in how much is genomic and genetic is present at the curriculum at the different countries. And one things when I mentioned the curricula, in most cases, curricula is written by the people who don't know anything about this particular, issues or whatever you want to call it. So I think maybe, and of course, one thing is general. I would say is general is time constraints and workload. Uh, General shortage of nurses. We don't have time. We only focus on this, primarily works. We made some, excuse me, some kind of list of priorities and, doing what we can do. I'm not sure that currently in Croatia, I can say that there is a little bit, lights at the end of the tunnel regarding relations, let's put it this way, between physicians and nurses. I think maybe for last year or two, physicians change in a way the way how they treat us, how how they think about us. I think we can notice some higher level of respect, and I would say and trust. So I think it was for a long time very, very, very big issue. And maybe because of that, there is also one problem I can't forget. And there is, at least in my country, there is no, very clear nursing roles and competencies. And especially because of these nurses shortages, everyone doing everything. And we also don't have a specialization. So this is the one of the reasons because we we all do everything, everything whatever is need to do, whatever is have done to do. So
So
maybe
we have a number of challenges, Sylvia.
yeah. But
I also feel frustration.
I'm not a very optimistic person, but I'm a realistic person. So, I think
Okay. No, but I listen. I listen to
yeah,
things that can change. That
yeah,
people that are involved in oncology should be teaching more oncology.
yeah.
So I can hear on the negativism that you are still working with us, that you are part of Eon. So you are not negative. You are
No,
just
no,
pointing.
no, no.
So I'm gonna.
I refuse to be negative. Yeah.
That's good. I'm gonna ask Darcy, given that you have a different experience, especially than us in Europe, on driving advocacy, and I will drive towards someone else that you have been involved with in advocacy. But given your experience in Capitol Hill and direct political engagement in nurses, that it's something that we don't see that much. And knowing how the geopolitical and economical context is challenging, How do you think that this is influencing the way that nurses should approach policy and advocacy?
Well, thank you. It's a really great question. And I'm so glad my role model in advocacy is on the call today, Jelani De Castro. So I'm looking at her as well. And what I find is that regardless of where we live or where we practice, we advocate for our patients every day as oncology nurses. So if anyone is feeling a little like, I can't do this, we just have to remember that we have that trust with our patients and we share our patient stories. So that same patient focused perspective really guides us how we approach advocacy and health policy. And along those lines, um, our elected officials, and as we all know, cancer affects so many individuals. So it's very likely that those people that we're speaking with that can make decisions about policy have been affected by cancer, either personally or on the periphery with their constituents. So we have the opportunity to share our patients' stories. So we bring the evidence to them. We tell them, how important access is, what barriers our patients are facing, and also that it takes time. So rarely is it a one and done conversation. And I say that only because recently I had the opportunity to not only meet with, individuals at the federal level, but also in my state level to talk about biomarker testing. And this is the second conversation that I've had with them, and where I just shared with them that I had the opportunity to care for a patient who had biomarker testing that identified a specific variant, and there was a targeted therapy that was available to help that individual. So within, weeks of them receiving the targeted therapy, their symptoms improved. And now it's been a few years later, they're continuing to work. They're spending time with their families, and they're receiving treatment that was tailored to their individual cancer. So, helping our elected officials understand that the policies that they make really help their constituents receive the personalized treatment that they need. And it's not a privilege, it's a right. It's a right to everybody to receive the treatment that they deserve. And they have the opportunity to make those decisions. So we put it back to them, guys, saying this information that, this is our patient stories, this is our constituents. And I have found that people are very open to hearing stories that really make a difference, and they can help make that difference. So we just got to keep doing it and keep sharing that story, because patients trust us and we share that, privilege with elected officials just to keep sharing and resharing and, bringing it back to, GPON and other FT3 groups to know that, we keep doing this and we doing it just to change health policy and advocate for our patients. So it's a great privilege. So I'm happy to continue doing it, and we'll continue to do it until things are changed.
Your voice is very much listened to, Darcy, so thank you. You are a great example. Even though there is nobody like Yulani to teach us about advocacy, you are a great example of advocate of nurses. You are very much listened to. So I'm going to ask you to, in a very brief way, in the sake of time, if you were to think just before we go to co-creation, and I also want to ask all of you that are on the call to write or then to raise your hand. If you were to think about one concrete tool or initiative to help us develop in the global nursing community in the next 12 months, what would you choose to do? One thing, brief answer, very difficult. What would be your priority?
If it's me, I think developing a toolkit just to bring all of these voices together and share, tips and tools of the trade for advocacy, education, different innovative work that we can do if it's, a checklist just to make everything easy for nurses to follow, regardless of where you live in practice. And going back to what Liliana and others said, just make it in the voice of where we're from. We all are from different areas of the world, so if we could have it in the language that each of us can understand, that would be really important.
Anybody else want to answer this question?
I think my answer is very similar to Darcy. It's about, I think it's education platform. We provide education module and education material for nurses, also for our patients. That's important, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe some, like Darcy mentioned, some tools, maybe the digital, tools, some quick reference guides, maybe point of care resources. They could fit, with our busy everyday clinical work environments.
Ilknur, you are very welcome to join us. So would you like to tell us?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I guess
Yes, we
yes.
can.
That's great. First of all, it's great to be here with you. I feel super excited and happy. And I wanted to say that for the oncology nurses, I think we need to I think in recent years we get focused on that, but mental health maybe toolkit or something like that, because we need to protect that. And also, I really love the line that's your Darcy. It's not a privilege. It's right to them. So it's mental health matters, and it's not a privilege for us. Maybe these aspects I can say that it's our right. Maybe we should focus on that much more.
I like it, a strong voice. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Does anybody else from our group from this call would like to share what do you think you should be next priority, your first priority?
Well, for me, I think we should have case-based examples across the regions. We are all here from different countries. If you present the cases from your country, I present mine, she presents as, at least we will have something similar and something different, and we note those similarities and the differences. So I think it will help.
And it actually may inspire all of us to copy the things that we like that each other is doing. So that's a really nice example, Fatima. I really like it. Okay, I think we can move on to the next step.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much to all of our moderator co-authors to be part of this. Eleonora, you have the floor, sorry.
No worries. Thank you, Celia. And I join you in thanking everyone who was part of this panel and also everyone who's taken the time to listen to the experiences of our champions. We would now like to leave everyone the floor to speak and for you to have discussions and really be able to share your experience and share your ideas. We have thought to split into breakout rooms. So we are gonna now move into the section of the session where the objective is to really gather your insights and brainstorm together what are potential solutions that we could start working on. Breakout rooms will last 30 minutes. We will allocate you to rooms. And our speakers will help facilitate the conversation together with a few additional moderators from GPON that have joined us in the call and that will help enrich the perspective. A few of them have also spoken in previous sessions, so they may not be new to you. Some others may be new, but we'll get a chance to introduce each other in the different breakouts. You will be able to participate in all breakouts, so you will be able to discuss education, advocacy, and any other topic that you would like to work on. We will take care of rotating speakers every 10 minutes, so you're gonna have 10 minutes to discuss education, then you will move into advocacy and then into innovation. Your initial group may be different, but I guess you got the point. It's a rotation and you will get to discuss everything. We have a few guiding questions for you that will be repeated by our moderators in the room, so I don't want to be redundant here. The only other information that perhaps is useful to share is we will use a tool called Group Map. If you have joined us before, you may already be familiar with that. This is to ensure that we capture all your inputs. You are more than welcome to just open the group map and write your thoughts there if you prefer, or share your thoughts in the chat and we will take care of taking note or speaking up, which is of course something that we would love. We would love to hear your voice and hear your story. And again, we will take care of note taking, so you don't have to worry. Your insights will be treasured and well captured. Group Map is a collaborative tool. My colleague Diletta has just shared a link in the chat. You will see that once you join that, you'll be able to add your comments, but also to like what other people are writing or to comment on what other people wrote. Again, you're not forced to go to this link. We will take care of the discussion and we will take care of note taking for you. So unless there is any question, I think that we can get into breakout groups, enjoy the discussion, and see you soon.
See you soon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hello. I have to say, it's very frustrating to leave people mid-sentences. I feel like
I know.
I feel so unpolite. Like I left a lot of people speaking mid-sentence.
I know, but hopefully the conversations will go on. We don't want the conversations to stop here.
So I want to apologize to all of you that have been speaking. I just left the room. It wasn't me. It was the letter's fault.
My fault, completely, 100%.
It's okay. I think we have everyone almost back. So you have all had the chance to give your insights to the different topics, but perhaps just to summarize, I'm gonna ask our moderators to share what are the final key elements that you have gathered on your specific topic. So like one or two solutions that you heard in the room that could really support the nursing community and that we could all collectively work towards. And I'm gonna ask Silvia and Liliana to get us started with education. A couple of minutes each should be good.
Okay. Liliana, should you?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So what we discuss is, of course, there is a lack of formation in the universities, especially because precision medicine is not given or offered as an obligatory aspect, as an obligatory a signature in the nursing curriculum. So we discuss about the need to having this, also the importance of associations. For national associations, we expose the case of Brazil, that they start having a small group of nurses in precision medicine, and now they have an association, national association that is started working. So these kind of initiatives help us to visualize and reflects the need to having precision oncology nurses. And the initiatives like FT3 and GPON help us to connect, also to have the opportunities to integrate all the knowledge from all the countries, because when we chat with the people from different regions, from different countries, we conclude that we all have this lack of knowledge, and we conclude that there is also this lack of specialized formation for nurses. But that is something that, of course, since these initiatives, it's something that is important that start to change by having these collaborations, international or national collaborations, to improve oncology and precision oncology nursing. I don't know if Sylvia wants to add something else.
Yeah, maybe just one sentence. I think we should, emphasize integration. because it captures how genomics, data technology, and compassionate nursing care came together. And I think it's important to emphasize one thing that we have to stop doing immediately right now. And this is that have to stop continuing to treat oncology patients with uniform protocols. And the other hand, we immediately right now should start embedding genomics into everyday nursing practice. And it should be as a core competency, not as a specialist add-on part. And maybe just one ha moments, if I may say. I was really surprised with a story from the colleague from the Nigeria. She just finished her PhD thesis, and she developed a model about genetics and genomics, and this model currently is in at practice. So for me, it's a really big achievement, and once again, I congratulate to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Liliana. Thank you, Silvia, for sharing. And I'm sure there is more that each one of you got from the discussion about education. If we move to advocacy, Jilani, Fatima, would you like to share any highlight that you got from the discussion? And again, a couple of minutes each is good. I'm going to nominate who starts. Fatima, please get us started.
Sure, I can get started. Really great conversations, and it's just very exciting to be in a global community like this, to hear other people's perspective. But yet it was very interesting to see some common themes, no matter where the nurses were in the world. Some of the common themes were lack of confidence of advocating outside of the clinical setting, perhaps providing mentorship opportunities for advocacy, especially for our younger nurses or newer nurses that are just still getting settled in clinical practice. Because there is the clinical skills that we learn, but we can translate those clinical skills into advocacy skills. And also the importance of having nursing in leadership roles, whether it's formal or informal leadership, because it's important to be at the tables where these decisions are made, especially when it comes to the cost of things or to provide that nursing input. So I found that very informative and very inspiring in the conversation.
Thank you. Fatima. We cannot hear you, or maybe I cannot hear you now. I can come back to you later, don't worry. Still not hear you. It's okay, I'll come back to you later. I know you are quick at fixing, no worries. In the meantime, last group that worked on any other topic that was not education or advocacy or our innovation group, so any other solution that you could brainstorm that could help support the nursing community. And I would ask Alex and Darcy if you can share your highlights.
Wow. And Celia too. We were feverishly taking notes, and we kind of we went beyond genomics a little bit, but exactly what Jelani and Sylvia had said in regards to, mentorship, was also brought up in our conversations. We also discussed, like bite-size education, if it's podcasts, ebooks, perhaps, quick problem-solving solutions where we can, discuss things with each other, and also the importance of, caring for each other, and also presenting globally if there's an opportunity for quality improvement, because it takes such a long time for integrating research into practice. And along those lines, is there an opportunity to share what we've done in a format such as this, like a virtual poster session or sharing of knowledge of things that we have developed and implemented within our practice setting. So Sylvia, the person that just finished her PhD, wouldn't this be great if she could share it with all of us in the global community? And if there's an opportunity to, implement that along the lines of, continuing the collaboration with each other. So, Alex, Celia, is there anything else that I forgot?
I have a long list, but I think you gave the highlights. I'm gonna take the chance to say I'm so grateful to all of you. At the beginning, I was worried because we were not as big of a group as we have been in other meetings, but actually, it has been so fulfilling listening to all of you. So I'm just taking the chance because Darcy gave me the floor.
I think we also had Kay that joined us and helped us moderate one of the rooms from Japan. I don't know if you want to share anything if you're still here, or if there is anyone else that would like to share any highlight that you got from the discussion before I share about the next steps.
I just
Okay.
think it was really enlightening to hear that, that across the world, really, people are struggling with the same problems as well and trying to but actually the themes around communication, leadership, knowledge and skills came through in all of the groups, really, and about how nurses are great advocates anyway. We just need to build on that.
I really there were a couple of ideas that came from the groups that I thought I need to bring this back to the GPOM group. It's also that moment where you are already thinking, okay, so maybe this one with FT3 we can do, maybe this one with GPOM we can do, maybe with this one we need a combination. So as a GPOM representative, I kind of saw there are many things that all of us can do within where we are. Most of the things, actually, we all have a little bit of the power to do it and maybe to support each other while we do it. So I think that will connect with what Eleonora will say next. But a lot of the things that you said, all of them, you could do it within the next 12 months. You maybe will not see immediate results, but you were thinking short term, when it's something is very difficult to change. So I think you were spot on into let's think about things that we can do right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Celia, for nicely giving me the floor to close. So we're just going to take 5 extra minutes from you, and then we let you go. We just wanted to, first of all, let me share my screen. Sum up a few available opportunities to engage. As FT3, we have continuous multi-stakeholder discussions that we organize. Some of you may have attended the FT3 town halls that happen quarterly. So remember to monitor that. We'll make sure to invite you and share the link as soon as the next one is available. And if there is also any precision medicine topic where you'd like to interact in a multi-stakeholder setting, is that how do we facilitate access to precision medicine at the point of care? Is that how do we facilitate access by changing policy and looking at systemic changes that are needed? Please do let us know. We'd love to involve you. We have several working groups that are available. So we are one email or text away, and then we can figure out what's the best solution for you. GPON, I'll get to the GPON WhatsApp group. There is a link. GPON will also, I guess in a couple of months, start releasing their registration for their annual event. So that's also going to be an opportunity for you in the second half of this year. I have had the pleasure to attend for 2 years in a row. I always am astonished by those annual events that are organized by GPON. So definitely suggest to keep an eye on that. The link will be shared by my colleague Diletta in the chat in a second. I see that there is a request. Other opportunities for you to engage in the meantime. We have the Made with Patients Awards. Some of you may have heard of that. Some of you may be new to the concept. These are awards that we run annually at a conference that is called Patient Engagement Open Forum. The idea of these awards is to acknowledge initiatives that really value and actively involve patients. So if you're curious to hear about good case practices around the globe, about patient organizations driving change, or industry involving patients, or any other stakeholder, we invite you to register to watch the ceremony of these awards. Nominations are now closed and are being evaluated. And of course, for next year, we'll invite you to register as well. We will continue with this series of workshops. So with GPON, we will sit together and discuss all the great insights that you have shared over this meeting. And we will make sure to prioritize the actions that you have suggested we could take together as a nursing community. There's going to be a next session. We will report back to you on the outcomes, and we will ideally start working a bit more practically on the solutions that you have identified. In terms of resources, and I see my colleague Diletta is now sharing them in the chat, we invite you to join the GPON WhatsApp group. That's a very quick communication channel that's nurses only and for nurses. So you are going to find all the amazing GPON people here and more. That's a way for you to stay up to date with resources, share doubts, share good case practices with colleagues. And that's just one text message away. So really invite you to join that. If you'd like to look in at the past sessions recordings and hear the stories of some of the people that you've heard today, or look at what were the insights shared by nurses, we also invite you to check out the previous GPON and FT3 nurses community of practice meetings. You're going to click there, and if you scroll down at the end of the page, you'll be able to find recordings, outputs, and slides from past sessions. In general, all our sessions, you might have noticed, are hosted in a platform called Precision Medicine Synapse. The Precision Medicine Synapse is a digital ecosystem where anyone from the precision medicine community can join, share resources, events, organizations, or initiatives. The idea is for you to access a precision medicine network globally. It's a multi-stakeholder network. You'll be able to connect there with patients, industry, researchers, clinical trials stakeholders, academia, other nurses that are interested in precision medicine, and you'll be able to find resources there. FT3 has also developed in a multi-stakeholder setting a few different resources to support precision medicine adoption. These resources are gathered in the FT3 Precision Medicine Toolbox that is available to you. So we also invite you to check that out and check the resources. If you have any feedback, see anything missing, please do reach out. We would love to hear your thoughts. And ideally, this toolbox will be soon integrated with resources that are dedicated to nurses and that we will create together. So that's our commitment together with GPON to understand what's useful and to make sure that we make it available for you. In the meantime, as a point of contact, but again, here we are FT3 and GPON together. I am available for any question that you may need. And I'm happy to direct you either to GPON or to support you in FT3 or do that jointly. So you can find my email there. In our emails, there is always our phone number. So some of you have received emails from me in the past. Feel free to use the channel that is easier for you. And we once again thank you a lot for joining us today. We would love to hear your feedback. So my colleague Diletta has shared and will share once again the feedback form in the chat. She will also share it in an email. This feedback form is useful for us so that we can gather your opinion and shape the next meetings. And it's also your way to request a certificate of attendance to this meeting. So we will use it to gather your information. And with that, we're gonna send you within a month a certificate of attendance. If you have attended previous sessions and have not received your certificate, please email me and we will make sure it's sent to you right away. And unless there is any other comment or Sally, any closing remarks that you'd like to go, I guess we can let you go and we see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining us and have a nice evening, day, afternoon, not sure.
Thank you, Eleonora.
Thank you.
everybody
Thanks,
for
everyone.
joining us
Bye-bye.
today.
Thank you. Bye bye.